It's a common practice for police officers to use a phony name with a suspect in the early stages of an investigation.
Isn't it common practice for an officer to use a pseudonym when he's preparing to hit on a suspect for money?
Objection.
Sustained.
On your first confrontation with Frank Holman, you searched his car without a warrant or probable cause, didn't you?
We asked his permission and he gave it.
That's not what Holman says.
Well, he wouldn't say that because it's the truth.
Oh, you were pressuring Holman, weren't you?
Well, pressure works with habitual criminals. It forces them to make mistakes.
You took over $200 from him, didn't you?
Well, that's not true either. Holman is a liar.
Lieutenant Torello, yesterday you called Frank Holman small time. All he knows about St. Louis is what he reads in the papers. It's a crapshoot every two-bit hood tries to do when he gets pinched. Quote, give me a break and I'll give you the boss. Does that accurately reflect your feeling about Mr. Holman?
Yes, it does.
Lieutenant, why did you strike your prisoner in St. Louis?
He insulted me.
What was the insult?
I didn't take notes. I don't remember.
All right. According to Sheriff Grady, Holman said something like, I didn't know mooches doubled for cops, Torello. Does that sound like it?
I don't remember.
But you attacked him then?
Yes, I did.
Sheriff Grady called it, right here, police brutality.
Oh, I'd call it self-defense.
So you're calling the sheriff from St. Louis a liar?
I'm calling it a matter of interpretation.
That's not the way Holman and Sheriff Grady see it.
Holman would, because he's a born liar.
So everyone's a liar but you, eh? According to Holman, Lieutenant Torello was trying to stack the deck against me in order to cover his actions.
What action?
Why don't you tell us, Lieutenant?
Because there is no action, because there's nothing to tell.
Yes, there is. Tell us about Ted Kehoe.
What about him?
He was your friend.
Yes, he was my friend.
And you grew up together. You fought in Korea together, correct?
That's right.
He was your roommate?
For a time.
Until he died. Lieutenant, were you aware that Ted Kehoe was under investigation by the FBI for his mob connections?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Now, counsel, this could be very germane to the issue of witness reliability. Continue.
Answer the question, Lieutenant.
Yes, I knew.
Did you know that the Department of Justice was going to indict Ray Luca and Phil Bartoli for a money laundering scheme that Ted Kehoe, your friend and roommate, was involved in?
Yes, I did.
Kehoe's girlfriend, Marilyn Stewart, informed the United States Attorney's Office that she was aware of this scheme. You knew her too, didn't you?
Only in passing.
She also reported to us that you were harassing her. Is that true, Lieutenant?
No, it's not true.
Ah, so Marilyn Stewart is another liar. When was the last time you saw her, Lieutenant?
The last time I saw Marilyn Stewart, she was dead. We dragged her out of the river.
And you wouldn't let a United States attorney, me, into the scene of the crime?
I wouldn't let you in because you had no jurisdiction there and you were being disruptive.
What are you trying to hide from me, Lieutenant?
Nothing!
Nothing! Nothing. Were you living with Ted Kehoe when someone threw him out of his window to his death?
Everybody involved in that investigation was murdered and you know it.
Yes, I do! And I also know the central character that linked all these people together, Michael Torello. Do you expect us to believe that everything somebody says that you don't agree with is a lie? When your best friend, your roommate, is up to his eyeballs in criminal charges? No! Come on, Lieutenant. Do you expect us to believe that you had nothing to do with the deaths of Ted Kehoe and Marilyn Stewart?
You know what you are, Breitel? You're a cheap, dirty, filthy little son of a...
Lieutenant Torello.
I object.
I object! This witness connected Ted Kehoe to a lucrative business scheme with his organized crime contact. and then tried to help him when he got into trouble because of his girlfriend. And when Torello couldn't help, he had knowledge of or complicity in her death and eventually in the death of Ted Kehoe.
Mr. Breitel.
I withdraw the question, Your Honor. Violence is commonplace in your world, isn't it, Lieutenant?
Objection.
Sustained.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Stop it!